Yo, YouTube, what's good with y'all? So, as y'all can see by the title, y'all see what we doing today. So, I ain't even gonna too much take y'all time, and I'm gonna hop right into the video. So, basically, I'm finna be talking about how I became fully self-employed by 19. If you don't know, I'm actually 20 now, but I was fully self-employed at 19, and ended up getting my own vehicle, ended up getting my own apartment, all that type of stuff. So, um, I ain't saying I got everything figured out, but I'm on the right path right now. So I just said, why not make a video about it? But first off, to hop into it, I don't know how y'all are, but I'm real big on God and my spiritual side and everything. So off rip, I'ma say I wouldn't be able to do none that I have done and none that I'm about to do without God in my life. You feel me? I'm talking about the God that sent His Son on the cross to die for our sins. You feel me? Jesus Christ. So at the end of the day, you gotta build that relationship with God and know what path that He want to take you on. Because if you don't, it's like you're gonna be walking around like just clueless. You're not gonna really have that guidance that you need and Him ordering your steps for everything that you go through. You feel me? So that's most definitely number one. That's gonna always be most important than anything else that I'm about to say. Because without that, everything else don't even matter. I'm finna take y'all through like my background on how I grew up and everything. So growing up, I was always like quiet or whatever, or considered quiet. I just feel like if you ain't somebody I really want to talk to, I wasn't gonna talk to you. That's kind of how it was to me, and it got perceived as being quiet. So it is what it is. But growing up, I used to realize that I had a lot of gifts in certain things, and all I did was really like put them gifts to use in a way, and I didn't really like too much be so afraid to use them gifts. You feel me? So when I say gifts, it's more so like things that I was naturally talented at, and it was easy for me to do. So being younger, of course, I grew up in church and everything. So um, I used to actually get calls and gigs to go play for different people, whether it was services or concert type things or whatever. I used to always get called to go play for people, so I would make money, and it wouldn't even be a whole lot of money. It'd probably be like $50 to $100 each occasion or whatever it is. And what I used to do is I used to make that money. It probably took me about an hour, hour and a half to make that, and I used to stack that money, and then I used to go on eBay and buy shoes and resell them. So I did that for most of my years as far as like middle school and a little bit of high school in the beginning, and that's how I was really making my money. So I would make the money, like I said, by playing music, and then just flip it by flipping shoes and buying different clothes and stuff like that, and either selling them in my community or I resell them on eBay and things like that. And I just kept it going like that. But by the time I got to like my sophomore year and my junior year, I actually ended up getting into cutting hair, and I wasn't terrible, but I wasn't like all that either. But like my name was picking up traction at the school, so I was getting like a lot of clientele that was picking up. So I actually ended up doing that. I wanted to play football outside of high school, and due to some circumstances as far as injuries and everything, God took me on a different route. So by the time that happened, COVID was going on, and I ended up just getting in barber school, which was probably the best choice I ever made, if I'm being honest, because barber school took me to where I'm at right now, and it only took like a year and about 2 months, which was to me like I looked at it as more of a smarter move because it was like it never made sense for me to go to high school 4 years, come out of high school, then you got to go to college 4 plus years to depending on what you're going for, just to be in debt if you're not on full scholarship, and then you also got to find a job that you can pay the money that you use for loans back. So like that never clicked with me, and not knocking anything that anybody else do, but for me it just never made sense, and I never seen myself doing it unless I was on full scholarship. So with that happening, like I said, I pretty much was reselling everything, got into cutting hair, got into barber school. While I was in barber school, I was actually working at Domino's. So I was at Domino's full time. Uh, I would go to barber school from 8 a.m. to like 4:30. I get back to Monticello, which was a 40-minute drive from where I was going to school at, and come straight in at Domino's and work from 5 to like 1 in the morning. And that was like my everyday thing. So it wasn't like an easy process, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's like you got to put in certain sacrifices to get the outcome that you want. That's pretty much how I did everything. As far as like straight out of high school, I feel like what you would need to do is really lock in on, like I said, being in tune with God. I didn't see none of the stuff that I wanted to do really start playing out how I thought it would, or playing out in my favor until I started really just getting intentional with God and my relationship with Him. And I'm not saying like you using God as a success thing or whatever, but at the same time, it's like if you just do certain things on your own, it make it a lot harder. But when you got God on your side, God gonna, He gonna order your steps. He gonna tell you what to do and what not to do. He gonna put you in the right position, in the right rooms with certain people that's gonna lead you to a better path that you wouldn't even see coming your way. So that's most definitely like off rip the first thing that you want to do. But the things I would say that you need to develop is motivation for one. And I say motivation first because a lot of people say discipline, but you got to be motivated before you can be motivated to have discipline, if that makes sense. So you got to find people that's doing what you want to do and take notes. Don't really look at them as like a envious type thing. Don't look at it as like, oh, I can't do this, but they doing this. Like you literally got to put yourself around them people and be in the same room with them. Like if you can, like I knew, um, I'm gonna just say like me being a barber is just my stepping stone. Like that's where I was like, that's where my beginning is. Like I'm at the beginning. I know I'm gonna be in other places and other rooms as far as business wise. So like I said, you got to put yourself around the type of people that you want to, that they doing what you want to do. So at the time while I was in barber school, I was going to shadow other professional barbers already, and I would just go to their shop and kind of just watch what they do, ask them questions, and just kind of take it back with me and add my own thing to it. So you got to do that certain thing, and that's going to allow you to take pieces from what everybody else around you in the industry or whatever it is that you want to do and put it in your own way. So you're gonna need that motivation. So you gotta find the people that inspire you, find the people that make you want to go harder in life. And of course, after motivation, you got discipline. So when you got discipline, it's like I feel like for me, it's like the small disciplines lead to my bigger discipline. So say it's something as small as washing dishes as soon as you finish with them, or you make your bed as soon as you wake up. Like them little disciplines is what make it easier to do the bigger disciplines. Like it's not that easy going to the gym when you first start out going, but once you build the discipline, once you build the discipline, um, it's hard to fall out of it. Really, it's got to be discipline to desire. So, and I'm gonna say that one more time: discipline till desire. So that means you have to build the discipline until it's a desire. So, for example, yesterday I did not feel like going to the gym at all, but I knew that I had built that discipline. So it's like once you build that discipline, it starts getting you in a mindset of if you don't do it, then it's like it throw you off because it's a part of your daily lifestyle. So yeah, I knew if I didn't go, I was gonna be feeling bad the rest of the day just because I didn't do that. And I promise you, once I went and did what I was supposed to do, I felt 10 times better than if I wouldn't have went at all. And you gotta remain a student. You can't never get the big head and feel like you can't learn no more than what you already know. Whether it's reading books, whether it's watching videos, whether it's being around certain people or mentors to open your mind to certain things, it's like when you around them type of things, you gotta really open your ear and be slow to speak. Make sure you asking questions, but at the same time, like really lock in and tune in to what they telling you and what they giving you as far as advice or direction or anything, and pick and choose what's gonna work for you. Like you never know exactly what's gonna work and what's not gonna work, but what you gotta do is at least have knowledge, and then after you get the knowledge, the biggest thing is applying it. It ain't no good to get the knowledge and then not use it. You gotta know that it comes with sacrifice. Like throughout that time where I was in barber school and working and everything, I didn't really have time to kick it with people like people my age normally would do. Like a lot of people would like to party. A lot of people like to just kick it at the hotels or whatever. I had kickbacks and everything. I'm not saying I didn't go to any, but it was very few. I probably didn't go to more than three, um, and that's including the parties, kickbacks, and everything. I probably went to maybe three things, three outings, or whatever you want to call it, throughout that whole time of me being in barber school and everything. And it wasn't because I didn't. I ain't gonna say I did want to. I really didn't care to because I knew like I was locked in. I knew I had to be, focused on what I was trying to do. And it'd be times where I did go, and it still ain't feel like I was supposed to be there. So it was just like I was forcing myself to be somewhere I really didn't care to be at. And some point, I pretty much just fell off with going and really just really locked in and focused on what I needed to be doing. So you got to know it come with a sacrifice. You got to know what you willing to give up. You got to know that everything ain't gonna come easy. It ain't gonna come quick either. So therefore, you gotta have a tomorrow type mindset. I remember, and I'm gonna see if I can pull it up right quick. But it was this poster or this sign that my manager had put up at our job, and I took a picture of it, and that's what kept me like being in the mindset of closing every day, being in the mindset of not feeling bad while I was at work, keeping the mindset of why I was there and not letting myself get so caught up in just being there. Like I had to really like make myself enjoy being there and think about the end goal. But I'm finna try to pull this up right quick. All right. So y'all get most of what I'm saying, but on here you say, today is your opportunity to build the tomorrow you want. And I took a picture of that, and that was like my whole mindset going into the 9 to 5 every day. And something that my grandma always say, she say, one day pick up the trash, the next day pick. She say one day pick up the trash, the next day flip the burger, and then the day after that sit behind a desk. And what she mean by that is pretty much you got to start somewhere. So if y'all some of them people that like look down on people that work at 9 to 5s or work at McDonald's or something like that, bro, y'all got to change your mindset with that. That's like sometimes where you got to start out to stack up some bread to start your business or start whatever you want to do. And it ain't nothing wrong with it. Like, I respect somebody that start out there instead of not having a job at all. Like, if you're not bringing in no type of money, then what is it that you gonna do? You feel me? How you gonna start your business? How you gonna buy a LLC? How you gonna, invest in yourself? So you got to start somewhere and a sacrifice at some point. So don't get in your feelings or whatever people like make fun of you wherever you work at. Like, especially nowadays, like it's easy to get caught up in the fact that everybody want to be self-employed or everybody want to be an influencer and everything like that. It's like it's not easy to do them jobs, but at the same time, that 9 to 5 that you're working at is gonna build your character. It's gonna get you to the point where you pretty much get to where you can lock in and build some good characteristics and good work ethic and everything that's gonna help you when you open your own business and different things like that. If you struggling, you need a job or something, bro, go work at McDonald's, go work at Domino's like I did, or whatever it is that you can make some bread and stack your money at. Like, that's what I had to do, and you got to do what you got to do till you can do what you want to do. And when you in them situations, bro, you gotta have a mindset of investing. Have a future mindset. Don't be thinking about like where you at right now, because you need like a stewardship mindset. And the definition of stewardship is the job of supervising or taking care of something, such as an organization or a property. So God will bless you. Like, take it from me, God will bless you once He see how you can steward what you have and not be so caught up in what you don't have. Like, you got to be thankful and have gratitude for where you at and what you do have. So in them times where I was working at Domino's and everything, I was still giving ties. I would see people on the side of the road, and I'm not saying this to like, you know, get a pat on the back or nothing like that, but it's just in my character to, if I see somebody on the side of the road and they need some money or whatever, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna hand them the money. You feel me? I'm gonna ask them what their name is, make sure they straight, and go on about my business. And that's just in me, like to do that. I'm not saying everybody else got to do it, but God will bless you for certain things like that. And I'm not saying that I only do that just to get blessed, but it's just to help other people out. You feel me? And that'll take you a long way, even outside of having your own business. Like start building different characteristics and character traits that start to become a lifestyle for you.